Wednesday, and I've got a brand new edition of the Burgers and Brats podcast just for y'all. So much going on. We got the NBA Finals this week, the Women's College World Series almost wrapped up. We've got our national championship, and it is the Red River rivalry. We got MLB baseball, Aaron Judge doing his thing, and then Caitlin Clark news. Here are my thoughts on Caitlin Clark and what's been going on in the WNBA. Stay tuned, but before we get started, make sure to follow the podcast on any platform, any streaming service, literally anywhere. You get your podcast at Burgers and Brats, and stay up to date with latest news on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Burgers and Brats. And watch me live on millions.co and check out the podcast website, burgersbratspodcast.com. Go get some merch today. You can listen to the latest episodes there and check out all the socials. Let's dive into the big story, the main story here, the NBA Finals. It's this week. It's upon us. We got the 5-seeded Dallas Mavericks taking on the number 1-seeded Boston Celtics. Boston, a 6.5-point favorite in the first game. Boston is favored in the series, minus 220 compared to the Mavericks. You get plus 180. I could have seen this being a little more even. Honestly, this is going to be a phenomenal series. This is a series, and I kind of talked about last week that it could be a toss-up. It could go either way. I expect close games. I expect 1 to 2 shot game differentials, and one team could just get lucky each game. One basket here and there decides this whole series, and I expect come down to the final. Definitely 2 minutes, maybe last shot each and every game, and hopefully we get 7 games. And honestly, I can see it leaning that way. First game Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Central on ABC or ESPN Plus networks. We get a weird schedule. For the first 4 games, we got a Thursday, then we got to wait all the way till Sunday, and then Wednesday and Friday night. What a schedule that is. That sucks. You get 4 games in just over a week, but oh my gosh, those days are going to feel like an eternity in between them. Luckily, we'll have some Women's College World Series going on before and maybe after that if we get to 3 games. But it's the first finals for Luka, Jason Kidd as a coach. Dallas, it's their second ever finals. Last one in 2011 with Dirk Nowitzki, them winning over the Miami Heat. They do have 1 ring. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown went to the finals in 2021. They lost to the Warriors. Boston should have won that series. They just played awful in the finals, and that kind of stigma has stuck with Tatum and Brown for the last few years and this Boston team, especially last year, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, blowing it, going down 0-3, coming all the way back to 7 games, but then losing in that Game 7. This is Boston's 24th NBA Finals appearance. They have won 17 rings. Heck of a winning percentage. Heck of a percentage. And with 1 more ring, they passed the Lakers for most rings all time. So, new blood versus old blood, but old blood, because Boston's only been in the finals, I think it's the 3rd time since the 80s. So, been a long time as a Boston fan. It's really kind of shown how great of a coach Jason Kidd and Joe Mazzulla are. Jason Kidd did not get the love he deserved, all season. We remember when he was in Brooklyn and he was having his players run into him so he can spill drink and get a delay and a free timeout. We've come from that moment to Jason Kidd going to the NBA Finals. So, heck of a coaching. And then Joe, of course, has done a great job in Boston. They've been top 3 seeds each and every year at the Garden. And this is a big year. Boston needs this championship. It's been a long time, and to kind of make amends from the past and how they've blown the last few years in those series and not getting there, and then also blowing in the championship, Boston does need a ring. And so many legacies are on this line. Kind of talked a little bit about it on TikTok and my other podcasts as well, but you got Luka, Kyrie, Jason Tatum. Hey, even Al Horford could get a ring and become one of those great big men. But Kyrie's already got his 1 ring, won it in with LeBron, and I think that is the greatest ring that you could have ever won. 2016 Cavs versus Warriors, defeating the greatest team of all time. And I think Kyrie's already submitted as one of the best point guards of all time, handles wise, shooting wise, all that. So I don't really think a second ring it would move him up a little bit. But I think he's already designated as one of the best, and I mean top 100% top 10, top 5 point guards all time based on skill. I think that's already submitted right there. Luka, one of the best players we've ever seen. He's definitely a top 75 player in NBA history. And with the ring and carrying this team, not carrying as much, but still carrying this Dallas team, getting to an NBA Finals, looking really good, taking down 50-win teams on his way to the Finals. This will boost his legacy immensely. I mean, he could go to a top. I mean, you could say top 25, top 30. I mean, maybe even better than that all time with the ring. Yeah, you really could, based on skill. And with the ring, I think he can definitely do that. He's already one of the best. I think automatic Hall of Fame if he gets a ring this season. Just how he's done it, how he's been playing. I mean, third in the MVP. He's averaging 35 points a game. This 34 points a game this season, averaging 9 rebounds, nearly 10 assists, so averaging nearly a triple double. One of the best. I really do think that Jason Tatum has the most to gain, though. Like I said, Kyrie's already submitted as one of the top point guards of all time, top players of all time. Luka already pretty much there, and a ring would definitely boost that. But, I mean, Jason Tatum. I think people could forget who Jason Tatum is in the next decade or so after he retires, or he won't retire in a decade, but the decades following his retirement, people could forget him. I mean, they blew the 21 series, they blew last year, should have cakewalk to the finals, and then you have an easy cakewalk with injuries in the East, and you don't get, or you make it to the finals and you lose, depending on the fashion as well. But I think Jason Tatum, I mean, he could catapult himself into the Hall of Fame with a ring. I think he could gain the most. He could gain the absolute most from winning a ring, and people will remember him and his corny self with Kobe Bryant. But that's my opinion. Let me know who you guys think has more on the line for this ring. But Tatum will never hit the end of it if he doesn't win a ring. Luka, I will still be like, all right, you're still Luka. You're still really good. You've still got time. Tatum has time too, but I think it would benefit Jason Tatum a little more. Mavs, like I said, way tougher schedule. 50-win teams the whole way in. Looked really good. I mean, 6 games against Thunder, 4 games against Minnesota, and I mean, Celtics had no Jimmy Butler, lost Donovan Mitchell a few games in, and then you had Tyrese Halliburton get injured the last few games of that series. So much easier for the Celtics. They haven't been able to rest though. Every series against the Pacers, or every game against the Pacers, that was hard fought. They were down in those games, came back and won, got 4 straight. Sorry, Minnesota got one game on Dallas, but Boston 1-4 against the Pacers, and I mean it was tough to do. It was tough sledding for them even without Halliburton. Dallas did face the number 1 and number 4 defense on their way into the championship. Celtics do have the number 2 defense in the league. So, hey, if you're Boston, like, dude, defense is second best in the league. They're not getting by us. Well, Dallas kind of already has done that. But you do get Kristaps Porzingis back. Going to be great against Gafford, Lively, and PJ Washington, I think. It's just which team is best in the clutch. Because, like I said, this series is going to come down to final possessions. Final possession for each game. And both teams have shown they are extremely clutch. I mean, Minnesota had a lead in every 5 minutes, or in the last 5 minutes of every game they played against Dallas, but only won 1 game. The Pacers had a 84% chance to win a game, an 89% chance to win a game, and a 90% chance to win a game. They didn't win a single game against the Boston Celtics. So both teams extremely clutch. Kind of some of these stat lines. Boston has the number 2 offense in the league at 120 points a game. Dallas, 117 points a game. Big thing, I mean, Dallas is 20th in total defense, 115 points a game. Celtics only giving up 109, which one of the top ones. I mean, 6 points, but 6 points is a lot in the NBA. Both shooting at 48% free throws. This was a big thing that I surprised Dallas got away with. 76% shooting from the free throw line for Dallas. That is not good. That's not going to win. It's won a game so far, okay, but it's going to come back to haunt you, especially in a series when it's going to be this close. Celtics, 80% from the free throw line. And this is another big one. Boston is second in the league in rebounds, 46 rebounds a game. Dallas, 43 rebounds a game. Both share the ball pretty efficiently, 26 to 27 assists per game, favoring Boston. And then turnovers, Boston just at 11, the Mavericks at 12. So, hey, that one possession matters. Blocks, Boston first in the league at just about 6.5, and they get Kristaps. They get their man back. So, kind of favoring the Celtics a little bit. Can you tell me what the Celtics record at home was? 37-4. 37-4. Boston does not lose at home. They're the home team. They get the most games at home. In a series I expect to go 7, this majorly favors Boston. Dallas 25-16 on the road, both 7-3 in their last 10. Celtics 11.4 point differential, and Dallas 2.3 point differential. So Boston is beating their opponents by a bigger margin. And then finally, games decided by less than 10 points. The Dallas Mavericks are 27-20. Winning percentage right there. But the Boston Celtics are 36-4. This is going to be a close series. Everything I've said has favored the Celtics. And when the series is close, got to look at the stats, got to look at the team. And I'm going to take the Boston Celtics to defeat the Dallas Mavericks in the 2024 NBA Finals. I think Jason Tatum gets MVP and cements his legacy as one of the best to ever do it. So, taking the Boston Celtics over the Dallas Mavericks in 7 games. Let me know your picks for the NBA Finals. Stick with NBA real quick. The WNBA. Caitlin Clark, man, living it up. She brought fame, notoriety, not to just herself, her teammates, her team in Iowa, but I mean, now she's brought it to the whole NBA atmosphere, the whole WNBA sphere. The world is watching the WNBA now. And it's just shameful, weird that these WNBA players are just dragging her down and throwing cheap shots and talking bad about Caitlin Clark, the girl who is bringing fame to your industry that no one was watching last year. I mean, for last year's Indiana Fever team, they had 20 home games last year. 20 home games. Their entire season attendance for those 20 home games, for all 20 games total, 81,336. So far this year, they have had 5 games, at least since this podcast. Their total attendance is 82,857. They've had more attendance at 5 games this year than they had the previous 20 combined. That's insane. Caitlin Clark, she's bringing private flights. She's bringing money. She's bringing viewers to the WNBA. And we're having cheap shots. Angel Reese still talking that talk, but can't walk it. I mean, Caitlin Clark is the WNBA right now. She, whether you like her or not, she's a rookie. She's not putting up great numbers right now, but she still just won Rookie of the Month. She had 17.6 points a game, 6.6 assists per game, and 5.1 rebounds. She's doing this as a point guard. Still getting 5 rebounds a game, or 5 assists a game, and 6 rebounds. And have you seen her team? They were the worst team in the WNBA last year. She was the number 1 pick. You don't go to the best team. You go to the worst team. And she's been playing pretty good. And they've went on a losing streak, got a few wins, but had a big win over the weekend. People are tuning in for her. So the attendance of the non-Caitlin Clark games this weekend, 7.6 thousand. 7,000 times 2 games. 10.2 thousand in another one. 9.8 thousand in another one. And 3,200 in another one. And finally 4,000 in another game. So those games, there was one game that had over 10,000 viewers in it. And then 2 or 3 games with 7,000 viewers or spectators at the arena. And one game with 9,800. At the Caitlin Clark games that she played in, there were 2 of them this weekend. The first one had 17,200 viewers, spectators. 17,000 people were in that stadium to watch Caitlin Clark. In the second game, you had 17,400 spectators in that stadium to watch Caitlin Clark. People are watching Caitlin Clark, dude. They are watching. Embrace it. Embrace the people watching you. People know your names now. Yeah, WNBA players should be paid more. This is the beginning of that. Viewers are coming in. Brand deals. Butts are in seats. You're selling more in the arenas. Selling more merchandise. You're selling your own merchandise now. I don't get the hate. Yeah, she's way above you. There's always going to be that one person, man. And this is like the first player where everyone's tuning in. Enjoy it while, your time is coming. You're making, WNBA players aren't making much. But they're going to get a pay raise. And they're not on charter flights now. They're getting private flights now to games. And this is all the Caitlin Clark effect. People are tuning in. Like I just said, I just gave you the numbers. That's insane. People are watching Caitlin Clark. The jealousy is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can have a little bit, but when she's helping you out, chill back. And Angel Reese, good night. She was quote saying, "The reason we're watching the WNBA isn't because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that." Angel Reese, I just gave you the numbers, man. I just told you the numbers of the Caitlin Clark effect. And Angel, you are averaging 10.6 points a game on 35% field goal percent shooting and have a 0% three-point shooting. You are a big man. And you're shooting 35%? My goodness. No one is watching you. We are watching Caitlin Clark. And where is the WNBA commissioner? Why are we having the bad boys Pistons come out and attack Caitlin Clark? You are injuring your only way to success. The only way the WNBA is successful. I'm sorry to say, it's because of Caitlin Clark. Respect all the WNBA players. They should be making more. People should be watching. I'm watching. I've been watching for a few years. I obviously haven't watched to the effect like I am now with Caitlin Clark, but she is the reason your life is getting better, and it will continue to get better for however long Caitlin Clark plays in the WNBA. And the cheap shots, absolutely ridiculous. Got to start finding. Where's the WNBA commissioner? Do they even have one? Got to start saying, all right, you're getting a heavier fine. You're getting suspended. We're doing something. But you cannot have cheap shots at the face of your league like this. And you're not going to take questions over why you cheap shot at Caitlin Clark. Don't even know her name. No one knows her name. She's just trying to make a name for herself. Still, no one knows you, bro. We all know Caitlin Clark. So that's my 2 cents on the WNBA and Caitlin Clark effect. People are watching. and it's Caitlin Clark, baby. Come on. All right, let's head into On This Day in History, sponsored by Hefner Eye Care, located in Oklahoma City. Or check them out on the web, hefnereyecare.com. Go get your new sunglasses today, babe. Come on. Come on, man. You got your Rays, Maui Jim, my personal Maui Jims, baby. You got some Pradas for the women, some Kate Spades. Go check them out. Some Oakleys. They got it all. All right, On This Day in History, 1984. Bruce Springsteen's seventh studio album, Born in the USA, is released. Wow, I did not know that was in the early 80s. 1940, the British complete the miracle at Dunkirk by evacuating 338,226 troops from France via 800 vessels. And then 1927, the first Ryder Cup in Worcester Country Club. The USA beats Great Britain 9.5 to 2.5. Walter Hagen is the first captain of the USA. And what a great week in Normandy. In France this week. We got the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. So, been fun watching and keeping up with all that. That'll be on Thursday. So, seeing all the paratroopers come back in and awesome stuff commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Happy birthday, Rafael Nadal, Angelina Jolie, Mark Wahlberg, and my dad. Happy birthday to you guys. All right, that's On This Day in History, sponsored by Hefner Eye Care. Some other quick news from around the sports world before we dive into the Women's College World Series. Aaron Judge, man, what else can I say? What else can I say besides hand this man the MVP already? I don't care. Give it to him. He deserves it. 23 home runs on the season already, and just went berserk in San Francisco this past weekend. Home run every game. Looked phenomenal. Juan Soto, 17 home runs. He could be MVP as well. But just a great time to be a Yankees fan, man. Please, this has to be our year. It has to be. I'm begging you. Garrett Cole coming. This is without Garrett Cole. We got Garrett Cole coming back soon. Oh, man. It's good to be a Yankees fan, at least right now. We'll wait till we get to October. Yankees best in the AL East at 43-19. Got a 2.5 game lead over the Orioles, but comfortable 1-2 for these two teams. At least 10 games, 12 games in front of 3 through 5. In the AL Central, we got the Guardians at 40-20 leading that division, followed by the Royals, not too far behind, 5 games, and then the Twins. And then the lowly White Sox, 15-45. In the AL West, thankfully we don't have the Houston Astros. We got the Mariners on top, 34-27, and then the Rangers 29-31. Oh, how I would have loved to be in these two divisions for forever, because there is not good baseball in those divisions ever. So that would have been fun. But in the AL East. National League, Philadelphia Phillies. Playing really good baseball, 43-19. Same record as the Yankees. So the two best records in the MLB. And in that division, we got the Braves. And man, Ronald Acuna torn ACL again. Sucks seeing that news over the weekend, and that season is just over for the Braves. Sucks to see, because what a star player, man. Injuries. He's been bitten by them, and it sucks. He's a heck of a player. In the NL Central, we got the Brewers. Comfortable lead over the Cubs and Cardinals and Pirates. Pirates were up in that division earlier in the year, but Brewers at 36-25, 6.5 game lead over the rest of the three. And then the AL West, the Dodgers up 38-24, have a 6.5 point game lead over the Padres. So Rockies 21-38. Hey, not the worst team in baseball, baby. Come on. All right, that's some little MLB update. In the women's college basketball, UConn Gino Auriemma signs a 5-year deal worth up to $18.7 million, just ahead of his 40th season at the school. Pay the man. Yep, pay him. UConn's going to be back. Paige Beckers, they're going to be good next year, so I'd pay the man. Stanley Cup Finals, we get the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, and it'll be the farthest distance between the uh, conference champions and the finals ever at 2,543 miles apart. I don't know much about hockey, but I'm going to take the team that's from Canada. Just my opinion, not the team from the hot sun of Florida, the hot beaches of Florida. Give me the team in the cold, Canada, Canadian. Give me the Edmonton Oilers in this one. And it looks like J.J. Redick is zeroing in to be the next head coach at the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm really not sure about that. I really don't know. I know he's great friends with Braun. I mean, if Braun thinks it's okay, LeBron, it's okay. But would you not? There's not much out there. Ty Lue signed with the Clippers. You could go Frank Vogel and bring him back, but otherwise, there's really no one out there. J.J. Redick's really young. Do you want to deal with the publicity and the stigma and the hate of being the Los Angeles coach? It can't be worse than Darvin Ham, right? I don't think so. I guess we'll give it a try. I don't see it lasting more than definitely more than 3 years. Don't see that. But I'd love to see you try. Like J.J. Redick as a commentator, as an analyst. Great film breakdown, and hopefully he does good. Rooting for him, definitely. So that looks like J.J. Redick is going to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, let's talk some Women's College World Series in the softball world. What a Women's College World Series, man. This site, this bracket does not disappoint any year. This is March Madness. This is as good as the March Madness tournament. It's the annual. Let's see who gets to face Oklahoma team in the national championship, but you don't know which team's going to get there. This is Oklahoma's 5th straight national championship appearance. They've won 4 straight. 2020, they probably would have won. Definitely would have got there. It was canceled due to COVID, but they were the number 1 seed. And so it's whoever gets to face Oklahoma. That's the team that gets there. And Patty Gasso, the greatest of all time in softball. But it's been a fun week. We had 8 teams. We had a 1 seed Texas, 2 seed Oklahoma, 4 seed Florida, 5 seed Oklahoma State, 6 seed UCLA, 8 seed Stanford, 14 seed in Alabama. I think I just covered them all. I hope I could just cover them all. I think I did. And it was so much fun. It's double elimination, makes it more interesting. And Stanford had a chance. They had a chance to get to the final and just fell short. I just want the pitching. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Najee Kennedy. Awesome. She went, what'd she go? She went 2 full games in 3 days and 3 full games in 5 days. Absolute rock star, man. I think she could be a sophomore. I think she's a junior, maybe a senior, but she's still got years. Before this Florida versus Oklahoma game, I had her as my MVP. I would give it to Najee Kennedy, Keegan Rothrock, man. Can we talk about this for a sec? She's a freshman pitcher for Florida. She went two days in a row of pitching complete games. She had 122 pitches in that first game on Monday. She had over 150 pitches in the second game on Tuesday. That's at least over 272 pitches in 2 games. 2 days. 48 hours. She had that many pitches. It's just absolutely insane. And then Kelly Maxwell got her wins in the brackets. Oklahoma rolled the dice with Nicole May for game one versus Florida. Didn't need it. Didn't have to have it. Kind of wanted it, but roll the dice, go to game, an if necessary game. Got a full day off. Batters were hitting again. So those three pitchers, and I mean, absolutely incredible. I mean, Keegan Rothrock and Najee Kennedy did not make it to the final. But my goodness, man. Hell of an effort. Hell of an effort. Awesome. Awesome for what I saw from those two. Those two could be MVPs. They really could. Weather was a big factor in this. I mean, I think since the first night, we had storms in Oklahoma City. So delays definitely help teams, definitely hurt teams as well. If you're feeling hot, you get pushed back, and that stinks. And, I mean, we're supposed to have 4 games possibly on Monday night. Had the one game versus Florida. Oklahoma did not get their bats going at all. Florida was hitting everything. And it's probably a good thing for Oklahoma that they had to push that second game to the next day. And bad for Florida because the way they were hitting, they'd probably be in the national championship right now if we didn't have a weather delay. So the weather played a major role, major factor in kind of deciding who went to the final. Oklahoma State was a big surprise as an early exit. I didn't know Florida was that good coming in. And then they were 4 seed. Oklahoma State was a 5 seed, but I thought Oklahoma State had a good chance as an underdog to make it to the final, and didn't score a single run in the Women's College World Series. 2 games, Oklahoma State scored 0 runs, just like how many national championships they have in pretty much anything. So that was kind of a surprise, but Florida, they had to face Florida in the first game, and we saw Florida, man. They played phenomenal. So Oklahoma State played Florida, lost. Florida then moves on to the winners. Texas also beat Stanford in that first game. They moved to play Florida in that second game, kind of to head to the semifinals. Texas run rolls Florida 10-0. Phenomenal pitching from Texas, man. Phenomenal there. And it was just a great World Series. And let me look at the schedule real quick. And then some other games. I mean, I don't know if y'all watched the Pac-12, but I love the Pac-12. We got to watch Stanford and UCLA go at it. The outfield for Stanford, oh my goodness. That is what every pitcher wants behind them. Well, phenomenal, man. Absolutely incredible. Home run robberies, diving for balls. Absolutely awesome from what saw from Stanford in that outfield. And the dominant pitching, like I haven't talked about Kelly Maxwell much, but a 1-0 shutout game against this UCLA team that had Maya Brady. What she went? She won Pac-12 Player of the Year, and then a finalist for Player of the Year overall. I mean, she got struck out like 3 times, maybe reached base once out of the 6 or 7 times. This tournament, so she did not have a good tournament at all, but she was definitely one of the best players in the country. UCLA had a 14-game winning streak heading into this. Beat Alabama, faced Oklahoma, got shut out 1-0. Had no bats. Kelly Maxwell looked awesome. Caitlin Terry, Taylor Tinsley, phenomenal pitching for UCLA. Another great pitching. I haven't mentioned them yet. Great pitching for UCLA. All around, man. Awesome pitching. That's what I fell in love with this weekend. The pitchers. They were phenomenal. Amazing stuff. I mean, we had some close. I mean, every game was pretty much close. There were some not many runs given up in these games, so it was great. This Florida team, what a team! Like I can't give her enough praise. Keegan Rothrock, 270 plus pitches in 48 hours. Incredible. Jocelyn Erickson, the sophomore who actually was at Oklahoma last year, transferred, played great, had a couple home runs. But Texas getting a 1-0 win over Stanford to not have to go to an if necessary game when they get to the national championship. You get to face Oklahoma now. Oklahoma, backs against the wall, down in the final innings. Come back and tie it 5-5. Go to the bottom of the eighth. Who else, man? Jada, I mean, just incredible. Jada Coleman hitting a walk-off home run. That was this, if you're watching this far from being caught, inches from being caught by the outfielder. This is a Sooners team that is full of seniors, full of experience, and has the GOAT leading them. But hey, it was the freshman, Ella Parker, and this whole freshman team, or a few of these freshman players that are on this team, that helped secure a win. You can say it's the seniors, but hey, these freshmen played phenomenal, and Ella Parker is the reason the Sooners team is in the championship. I think there was just so much stress and so much on their shoulder to have to get to this national championship, where now I think Oklahoma can let it breathe a little bit. The seniors have been here 4 times now. 4 times. So they know what to do. Texas, like I said, they snuck past. They beat Kennedy twice now. They got 4 runs in her in the first game. 1 run, kind of just errors to get that 1-0 win. So their bats were shut out. But hey, man, we get number 1 versus number 2. June 5th through the 7th, 7 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. It's Oklahoma versus Texas. Can you get anything better than this? Can we put it in the Cotton Bowl? I'll put it in the Cotton Bowl. I'll even do an 11 a.m. kick. 11 a.m. first pitch. I'll do it. Give me some corn dogs and some beer, and I'm there. I'll be in Dallas tomorrow. Come on. Announce it right now, and I'll be there. That is what this needs. OU is favored in this series, but pretty slim margin looking at it. And it's going to be. We're going to have a tight finals, and we're going to have a tight finals in the softball diamond. This is the second time in 3 years these teams have faced off in the finals, and this is the second time ever that Texas has reached the Women's College Finals. Both teams 2-2 versus each other in the regular season. Well, during the whole season. Texas won the series 2-1 against Oklahoma and Austin, and then Oklahoma beat Texas in the Big 12 championship to capture the crown. So 2-2 split series on the year. So I mean, it's Texas team. A few of their players have been there, but it's still uncharted territory. And this Oklahoma team, they know the drill. They know the drill for this. And like I said, the freshmen delivered. That they're not going to be nervous. They won't be. This is what they dream of. This is why they came to OU. They've already done what they could in the semifinal. They got the big at bats. Pressure ain't nothing. Creates diamonds, baby. Come on. So these freshmen know what to do. These seniors, they know what to do. Cakewalk right here. I mean, daily routine, yearly thing for them. And I think the pressure, like I said, is off of this OU team, and they can go relax and go hit the ball now. They got to the championship. That's what they needed to do. Now it's like, hey, this is it. It's all we can give. Coaching, Patty Gasso, like I said, GOAT. Mike White, who's just a clown of a human, of a coach. Absolutely ridiculous saying, we need to move the championship out of Oklahoma City because it's an unfair advantage. Dude, win. Get there. Oklahoma fans won't be at the thing. Sports fans will be at the thing if you get there. It's ridiculous. And then blaming your players after you tell them to stop at third and you blame the player, even though you're pointing at the third base line or at third base to stop. Hey, go watch that video. I mean, Mike White is just a clown, man. He points at the third base for the girl to stop who's going to round home. Could have rounded home and made it home safely, but point at the bag, which is the universal sign for stop, and then goes on, throws a temper tantrum right there, and then blames the player. And he's just a clown. Flipped off the Patty Gasso in the Oklahoma crowd last year in Oklahoma City. So what a joke this guy is, Mike White. Is he going to try too hard? Maybe. maybe this could hurt them. Maybe he tries too hard to beat Patty. I mean, she lives rent free in his mind 24/7. So could be trying too hard. Maybe make some mistakes there. Both teams one loss in the postseason. Texas 7-1, Oklahoma 8-1. But hey, Texas did beat Florida 10-0 on Saturday, and Oklahoma struggled with Florida. Texas does have the upper hand with a day off and some rest. They get their pitchers rested. Kelly Maxwell coming off 150 pitches will probably not get the start the first day. Could throw out in the beginning, or maybe get a few innings from May and your other backups, and then hey, maybe throw out Maxwell if this thing is close. We'll see what the GOAT does. Maxwell is 2-1 versus Texas this year. Nicole May 0-1, but only gave up 2 runs in that loss. Texas is first nationally in batting average, second in on-base percentage, and fourth in slugging percentage. But hey, just like I say in football, throw everything out. Nothing matters heading into OU Texas. For football, probably nothing matters heading into this game for the Diamond. Texas has faced Kelly Maxwell in 17 total innings this year. 8 hits, 5 runs, 23 strikeouts, and contender for player of the year. Atwood for Texas went 1 of 8 versus Kelly Maxwell. Now, just comes down to which team gets the hits, which team has the experience, and I think that's Oklahoma. And come on, this team's chasing history. 4-peat, never been done in softball. Give me the Oklahoma Sooners and Patty Gasso. Give me the Sooners defeating Texas for the last ever Big 12 sporting event for either of these teams. Last time these teams wear Big 12 on their logo in any sport in this softball series coming up. So incredible stuff there as they head to the SEC. But give me Oklahoma Sooners over Texas in this one. Let me know your picks on the Women's College World Series. Heck of a week. Been awesome stuff from what I've seen. Pitching, incredible. All right, let's head into my final segment. I'm going to share my burger and brat with. The Humboldt Penguins. Adorable little things. I don't know if they can eat burgers and brats. Maybe I shouldn't let them try because they are endangered, so maybe that might mess them up. But hey, they are adorable things. You got to go look at some pictures. The Humboldt Penguins. So specifically at the Chester Zoo in the UK. 11 of these penguins were just hatched recently and have made it through the first 40 days of life, and those are the most delicate period of life for the flightless birds. And now the naming process begins for them. These 11 adorable things. We've already got a few. Nettle, thistle, dandelion, tulip, and daffodil. So I'm thinking all flower names. So pretty sure we're going to stick with that. Those are confirmed already. These birds were born at 80 grams, weighing in at 80 grams, and now at 2.5 kgs in the last 40 days. The Humboldt penguins are one of 17 known penguin species and the most vulnerable of the species, and they can swim up to 25 miles per hour, which is the average speed of Usain Bolt's record-setting 100-meter dash. Fast little guys. Fast dudes. They can be found on the coasts of Chile and Argentina. So the Humboldt Penguins share my burger and brat with you guys. 11 cute little babies born at the Chester Zoo in the UK. All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Phenomenal week coming up in the sports world. Had to get the podcast out to you early, so let me know your picks in the NBA Finals and the Women's College World Series. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow the podcast on any platform, any streaming service, literally anywhere. You get your podcast at Burgers and Brats, and stay up to date with latest news on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Burgers and Brats, and hopefully watch live on millions.co and check out the podcast website, burgersbratspodcast.com. Go get your merch today. Thank you all for listening. Take care. Stay safe.